Welcome to the Angus Report, a news program for cattle producers.
The week's top headlines from American Angus Association headquarters include tips for a successful breeding season.
Why written grazing agreements could be a smart move.
We talk water restrictions in California and managing risk through good herd health.
This is the Angus Report. Hello, I'm Bob Cervera.
And I'm Crystal Albers.
Our top news this week. With today's top cattle market prices, a successful breeding season is all the more important. A good reproductive strategy could significantly influence profitability. That's according to veterinarian Todd Bilby, specifically regarding to estrus synchronization.
One of the biggest advantages to using a synchronization program is just to tighten that breeding season window. So if we can shorten the time period in which cows are going to have a calf, especially getting it less than, say, a 60-day breeding season, then that's going to be beneficial for having calves earlier in the breeding season so they have more time to gain weight, so you have more weaning weights, and then also uniformity. So at that weaning time, they're all around the same weights, allows you to sell in a lot or bigger groups, which also helps when it comes for price of marketing those calves. Body condition score really is a key factor. You want those cows to be about a 5 body condition score for proper reproductive success, and you want the heifers to be closer to 6. You need to make sure you have enough fertility hormones available, make sure you have enough labor. If you're using AI technicians, make sure you have a proven AI technician there. You really need to stick with the proper day and the proper time at which these injections need to be given. Follow compliance as far as dosage and the right syringe size, needle size, etc. Work with your veterinarian always on these programs and have a strong herd vaccination program in place.
Grazing agreements can take various forms, starting with as little as a handshake. But an ag law specialist with Texas AgriLife Extension says written grazing leases can be an important part of business for both landowner and renter. Leases that spell out what is acceptable for the property in both the short and long terms.
Grazing leases really are good protection for both parties. And the reason is it just sets out the rights, it makes them very clear. It doesn't have to be a one-sided agreement. They can sit down together, draft it up, make sure it's fair to both parties. It puts their responsibilities and rights in writing, and it makes sure that they are protected in the event that something happens, that there's an issue or a dispute. From a landlord perspective, you're leasing out your asset, and for most of us involved in agriculture, that land is our biggest asset. And so we want to make sure that even though we're leasing it, we're still protecting it for the long term.
Visit the Texas AgriLife Extension Ag Law blog at agrilife.org/TexasAgLaw for more helpful information, including suggestions for drought-related grazing plans and free samples of grazing leases. While Russia remains closed to most U.S. beef and pork products, opportunities to expand U.S. meat exports are still available in smaller markets in the greater Russia region, including Georgia, Ukraine, and Uzbekistan. John Brook, U.S. Meat Export Federation Regional Director for Europe, Russia, and the Middle East, notes that USMEF is actively promoting high-quality U.S. beef to the hotel, restaurant, and institutional sector in these countries.
There is potential in all of those markets always for quality product. In all of these markets there is an HRI industry looking for quality product, and that is where US beef stands out. So the work that our team will be doing in that region will be to encourage people in those sectors to use high quality US beef. The last couple of years, when we were talking about Russia's drive to become self-sufficient in meat production, the production side was going faster than the processing side. And now today we understand that with the dramatic reduction in overall availability of meat, that some of those processing plants are now seriously underfilled.
California Governor Jerry Brown has imposed statewide water restrictions for the first time in the state's history. According to Reuters, March measurements of the Sierra Nevada snowpack found levels at just 4.4 inches, or 16% of the historical average. As a result, Governor Brown issued an executive order mandating substantial water reductions for Californians. The restrictions affect residential, business, and agricultural water usage and aims to reduce statewide water use by 25%. Restrictions reportedly focus largely on residential lawns and landscapes and other areas like golf courses and campuses. The rules will also require farmers to report more water use information to the state and submit drought management plans. More specifics on the water restrictions can be found online at gov.ca.gov.
And finally, the Beef Cattle Institute and the A.Q. Miller School of Journalism and Mass Communications at Kansas State University are seeking cattle producers to complete a survey about information sources to learn about strategies they can use to control E. coli contamination in their herds. Completing the survey will take approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and you can participate in the survey by visiting the link below. We go now to Jenna McCrell with news you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Crystal. Angus cattle will be in the spotlight this weekend in Reno, Nevada during the Western National Angus Futurity and the Western Regional Junior Angus Show. The Junior Show takes place on Saturday, and Randy Daniel of Georgia will evaluate the entries. Jack Ward of Missouri will judge the open classes on Sunday. Other activities include the Western States Queen Competition, Junior Showmanship Contest, educational programs, and several other meetings and social events. Show results will be available at angus.org following the event. Members of the National Junior Angus Association recently met at the University of Illinois for a Raising the Bar Leadership Conference. More than 30 Angus juniors from 11 states participated in the event and were able to tour the college campus, hear from industry professionals, and visit 3 impressive Angus operations: Prairie View Farms, Dameron Angus, and Topline Farm. The Junior Association hosts several Raising the Bar events throughout the country each year, and to learn more, visit njaa.info. And that's what you need to know this week in the Angus business.
Thanks, Jenna. When the Angus Report returns, how a good herd health plan can mean fewer headaches and more dollars down the road.
And an event that brings Sunny Mexican locales and Angus cattle together, the 2015 meeting of the World Angus Secretariat.
Visit angus.org to continue watching this episode of the Angus Report.
The Angus Report is brought to you by Merck Animal Health. Why not prevent respiratory disease before it steals from your bottom line? Vista Once protects your calves with the most complete respiratory disease coverage available. And Vision Blackleg vaccines can add 14 pounds per calf at weaning. Contact your veterinarian or animal health supplier today.
Working your cattle just got easier. Introducing the new VetGun delivery system, a new way to apply topical insecticides to your cattle. The VetGun lets you remotely treat cattle with effective parasite control, so you can do it just walking among the herd. It's that simple. The proven topical insecticide AML VetCap is used with the VetGun. It works fast to control hornflies and lice while minimizing stress on your cattle. Fast, easy, effective. VetGun. Check with your animal health supplier for availability.
Your herd, your business, your family. You've always protected what matters most, so you know how important vaccinations are for healthy cattle. And with Vista vaccines from Merck Animal Health, you know you're covered. No other vaccine works like Vista. Only Vista gives you complete dual-action pneumonia protection and complete one-dose fetal protection for the entire pregnancy. Protect what matters most. Talk to your veterinarian or animal health supplier about Vista.
You pick your cattle and your partners with care. Count on those who share your values about hard work and a reputation that is earned. Choose the optimists, the exciting ideas, like GeneSeek genomic profiling. When you go with the GeneSeek GG-PhD, you can invest time, money, and reputation in superior seed stock. You know their merit earlier in life, so you can raise and market calving ease, growth, and carcass bulls with greater confidence. And when your bulls perform as advertised, your customers can take your word to the bank. We know you are good at what you do. We help you stand out from the crowd. GeneSeek, a new brand of partner.
Join the team, the Beef Quality Assurance Team. Getting BQA certified shows you're committed to practices that produce the highest quality beef in the world. And by visiting BQA.org, you can take the online certification course at a time that fits your schedule and from the comfort of your home or office. You'll also find lots of helpful tips on improving animal health and animal handling practices. Get certified, BQA certified, because it's about doing the right thing. Visit BQA.org today and become a member of the BQA team.
Horn flies cost cattle producers nearly $1 billion a year. They interrupt grazing, cause loss of blood, and impact your bottom line. By incorporating Alticid IGR into your supplement program, you can prevent the emergence of adult horn flies. Alticid IGR will significantly reduce stress on your cattle. For pennies a day, you can control the most costly parasite and increase your profitability. Contact your feed supplier to incorporate Alticid IGR today.